Greetings, g'day viewers, I should say, I guess. How are we all? Hopefully good. Maybe if I brought this microphone in a little closer, you'd be able to hear me. I think I'm going out on stream. Looks kind of okay. Hopefully. Bit of a rush this morning, but that's okay. Today we're in TSW2 and we're having a bit of a look at Creators Club. G'day NJTE, welcome. We're actually, I'm pretty sure, doing one of your things today. I think you're rounding up at the end, so you're just going to have to stay and watch them all suffer. I've picked 4 things out of Creators Club. One of them is actually from Dovetail, so I guess it's kind of cheating, but, you know, sends a good message, so I'm going to use it. And then we're going to be playing one from British Ace, and then we're going to test out. I found one called Probably the Best. Now, we have to find out, don't we? Make a call. Be careful for Metro 2. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, we're looking at that one. It's by someone named Fisky. And then there's Skipping 72 by NJTE, who's just going to have to watch for a while. Anyway, we're starting off in service 1F15 in the train that Dovetail have put out, which is in honour of their employees and compatriots in war-affected countries right now. So they've popped this one out, and they call it Love to Ukraine. So I thought, let's give this one a bit of a play first up. We won't take it all the way into St Pancras, and I've started at the end of the route, which is, I think, the prettiest. So we better get in here and set this thing up. If I can remember how. It's been a while. What am I using a mouse for? I have things. Neutral? Forwards. There we go. And doors were on... Which way were the doors? Left or right? Left. Doing well with the button pushing today. Doors are open. Yay. I have been making lots and lots of stuff for future release, so expect some videos to come out in various ways and means. It is a really nice livery, and I guess it shows what you can do with Livery Designer if you try hard enough. Livery-wise, there's some amazing stuff in Creators Club. Today I'm concentrating on scenarios because we looked at lots of liveries last week. But if there's time, we'll pop in there at the end and just have a look through some liveries that are there. Because every day, just more and more and more. And the good thing is... Hello, Shelby. And the good thing is, because you have a most recent panel, the dominators, the ones who have the most likes or the most subscriptions or whatever, I think it's only subscriptions that it counts, aren't totally taking over the universe because new people have a chance. So that's a very awesome design feature. Just trying to organise some of my cables here. I've gotten a bit tangled up because, you know, I've got my little box and I've got the controller and I've got the rail driver and everything else. Lock doors, time to go. Hopefully I got that thing into forward. Brakes off. And if we're lucky, we'll move. Because I haven't driven this thing for, I can't actually think how long. Well, the brakes came off. That's a start. But I have no acceleration yet. Did I not quite get it into forwards, maybe? No, it's in forwards. Brakes definitely came off. Not getting a lot of joy here, am I? Maybe I'll just push buttons. I am in DC mode, which is what I'm meant to be for this end of the route. It does indeed, NJTE, represent the national flower of Ukraine.
You've got to select the DC's thing.
No, it's already in DC. So it should be okay with that. Oh, and I can try. And we want...
Your...
And down, shoes up. We want shoes down. Yeah. I actually tried this yesterday. I didn't have to do that.
No, look at your 2 lights on the upper dash there. The bottom one should be out.
The MCB one. Here we go. We have life. Now, let's turn off some of these HUD-y things.
There you go.
Weirdly, I gave it a quick test run yesterday. I didn't have to do that, but that's okay. So off we cruise, ignoring speed signs as usual. Ooh, I've got a leech hanging on the back. Standard livery. Where'd you come from? In fact, that didn't quite look like standard livery, did it? What's on the back there? That's new. Okay. Chicago got distracted by a freight train. Oh, that's normal. Yesterday I was getting distracted by Thomas the Tank Engine. Because the preserved railway that I play on is running its Thomas season.
That's the Medway.
It is a long train, yes. How are the volumes for people? It's not very loud for me, but that's deliberate. Hopefully it's alright on the stream. So who's seen all of the still pictures from the Harlem line? Are you excited? Needless to say, I won't reveal anything except one thing. The community involvement in the new route has been huge. Absolutely huge. I'll tell you what I mean by that when it releases. Those moments when you see a broken fence at 85 miles an hour and you look back and go, well, I'm not stopping to fix that. Sucks to be you, people. I flipped out to a loud part of the train at just the wrong moment, Michael, so I didn't actually hear what you said then. I love that rogue city streetlight just standing out in the middle of a field. There's another one.
I said that's great because that means DTG is listening.
Oh, yes. Very much so. And you'll notice how much I care about the speed limit at the moment. We'll just pretend that, you know, that says 95. And we keep going. Or you'll have to start slowing down anyway, because we have to. Because we have to stop. I don't remember how well this thing stops.
Oh, you're like Matt.
Yeah, just ignoring speed limits. That's the right thing to do, isn't it? It stops better than I remembered. I didn't have to brake quite so early.
Yeah, just don't ignore the stations.
You know what? Oh, wrong spot. There, that's what I want. Let's make everyone's coffee go everywhere. Good enough. Let's go watch them get in. Or not. Wait, go over there. One day I'll get good with a controller. One day. There's a lot of people here, isn't there? Noisy too. There were so many people. I just pressed the button to make sure I'm running the public version, just in case. And I am. Wait, look at those people up on the bridge. They've fallen through. That's funny. Hmm. Sittingbourne. I shall report that. It's not good. It's funny. It's not good. You know something I didn't do? Just while we're loading up passengers.
I noticed that too when he played that.
Just while we're loading up passengers, we have some new people. Let's get the train moving. Brakes are off. I think that was my issue before, is I didn't actually wait for the brakes to come down to 0 before I started to power. We have Train Kid 8. I'm not sure what happened to 1 through 7, but we have Train Kid 8. Could be like my Twitter handle, I suppose. It just mysteriously jammed an 8 on the end for no readily apparent reason recently. It did that by itself. We have Bricks for Daddy. Mind you, he subscribed for the Lego trains. So I'll have to do more Lego trains, just for him. Brad MacArthur. James 1416, 13B Plax, Matt McSee, try saying that drunk, E575FHO, Chase McCain's, and I think this person's unsubscribed and subscribed again, Raquel. Maybe she likes having her name mentioned. Hi Raquel, how are you? And Cornelius. Which always reminds me of The Fifth Element. with the very cute individual who always says, Cornelius. The 395 is much faster on the overhead, you're absolutely right. And the interesting thing about that is there are many train systems in the world that run on anything from 750 up to about 1500 volts DC that achieve amazing acceleration. So I get the impression that this one was probably built for the high voltage overhead, and the low voltage side of it was a bit of a, hey, we might need this. Yeah, I heard that NJTE. NJTE was just saying that this route became outdated the first week after it was after it came out, because that footbridge we were looking at was taken away from reality. So it's a historic route already, even though it was a brand new route. So Chicago's going to guess what it's going to be. Can you guess, though? That's a question. Come on, train, you can do it. I think I can. It is a pretty livery. Ooh, I've got the wrong lights on. Headlights, 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 that's what we want. Headlights, headlights. Day running. Yay! My wife told me I was too childish on stream the other day, and I thought, perfect. Chicago says... Oh, you're still going on about the gen switch. Chicago likes to operate the FP40s and other American locomotives by notching up and then putting on the gen switch. And that's okay. He can do that if he wants to. Bye, people. I really need to do something about collectibles on this route. It's the problem of swapping builds back and forth from public to the other one that you don't know about, that I can't talk about. I often lose my collectible status. Ooh, them's fighting words, Chicago. Chicago says that British trains have silly headlight layouts, while the US have better headlight layouts and switches. That was only a baby one. I don't know if I've got any Brits in stream that'll take you on today, Chicago. But I do know that older time Brit headlights did have a different philosophy, and Australia had the same philosophy in that the lights were actually marker lamps, they weren't headlights at all. Because I don't know if you've ever tried to drive a rail vehicle at night, but you actually don't need the headlights. They're more about telling other people you're there. Oh, it's on. NJTE in Chicago. Uh-oh. It's gonna work out. Emergency braking. Thanks, rail driver, for just going that extra notch. I appreciate your help. Now, given that I have none of these other things turned on, How do I reset it to stop it making noise? Can't even reboot it.
Put your brake into emergency and then take it out.
Hey, thank you, Michael. Well done. That's what happens when you don't drive these very often. And I have to, one of the issues with using the throttle handle for doing things like that is occasionally the rail driver throttle being what it is, kind of crap, which is not the game's issue because it's the same on everything else.
You're welcome.
Is occasionally you just end up in emergency without really meaning to. Noisy train now leaving. We're in a tree. Noisy train eventually leaving. Maybe. 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 No, we aren't powering. Forward. Do I have to do this again? Yep, I did. Now we're going to go back in the tree.
No?
G'day, folks. What do you think of that train behind you? Do you like the flowers? No? Okay, then. Ooh, grumpy. More power. I was hoping to get between them, but I guess my little camera didn't fit. I still think it's funny that your cameras actually interact with the world. To Gillingham. Be cool if the trains had an odometer. What I'd love to have is that part of the HUD up the top there, which is your next stop, which is really the only part of the HUD that I usually use. I'd love it if that was incorporated into the train display on every train, so you didn't need to have the HUD at all, except for the little reticle, the little white dot. You do need that when you want to interact with stuff. Ooh, apparently we have to slow down. I suppose there is a station coming. Does anybody else worry when there's a sea of red lights coming towards them, whether they apply to them or not?
Yeah, once in a while.
Gillingham, don't leave your shit behind. We don't want it. Any personal belongings left on the train will be sold on eBay. The train moving. We are moving. How interesting. And the doors are closing themselves. Probably because we're moving. Maybe we should finish that door open. Oh, there's a man in the wall again. Hello, man in the wall.
Looks like it. It is.
I left that on minimum brake. Oh, hello. How we doing, folks? Sorry about just rolling away there, you know. Normally your trains are supposed to be in control, but... well, this one doesn't seem to be. And I'm also curious why my 2 camera is inside a train. But there you go. That's okay. We've got a lot more twins going on here again.
I've never had that happen on minimum break.
Huh. Weird. But anyway, that's life. Let's get out of here. That lady just fell off the stairs. Came right through the wall. The antics of simulated people. Yeah, NJT says the station is on a small grade. I think it is, but I still wouldn't have expected the train to come off minimum brake, but it did. Quickie rail driver controller would be my bet. Looking at those people who are wandering around back there, it occurs to me that the rush hour people who are now on more routes like this one, they have more than just clothing differences. They have more shape to their bodies. They're more like humans now. They're still all very similar. It's a very middle of the road world in Dovetail. There's no tall people, no short people, no fat people, no super skinny people, no children. It's a sad, sad world because there's no children. And there's floating bushes in the air at the end of the tunnel. And it's time for some viaduct porn. Welcome to Chatham, land of tunnels. If it's not in a tunnel in Chatham, it's not happening. That'll do, the whole train should be in now. Get out. Go on. Go away, Chatham people. Isn't Dovetail in Chatham? Or am I remembering wrongly? Maybe all these people work on the game. That'd be kind of cool. Ah, and GTE confirms this. DTG is in Chatham. I wonder how many of them ride the train playing Train Simulator on their laptops. I'm always a little too concerned to get out my laptop on trains. I've seen way too many of them stolen because all it takes is a moment's distraction, someone grabs the laptop just before the door's shut, and they're out and gone before you even realise what happened. And I have seen that happen many, many, many times. Particularly on BART in San Francisco, it's really bad there because the San Francisco police do not prosecute what they call petty crime. And all the criminals know they don't prosecute it, so they feel free to commit even more of it. One of the many reasons that I don't live there anymore. Hello, train. Ooh, it's another one. Are we looking in a mirror? It's the same train. How weird. That was a strange experience. Dee 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 dee. And if you have no idea where that came from, you're just not old enough. Now approaching Rochester.
The Twilight Zone.
Correct. Well done, Michael. We have a Rochester in Victoria too, but it's kind of in the middle of a dust bowl. Some good friends of mine live there. Hello, Aidan. How are you? I'm going well, thank you. Yes, that's true, NJT. They could just have a bad memory. Or possibly, they never used the old-fashioned social media called television. Had to happen. One good stop. Yes, we went through Old Rochester, and now we're in New Rochester. Splitters. No one likes New Rochester. Ooh. Where have we appeared? What is back there? There's no tunnel or anything. I think we turned up inside that signal light. Wait. I'm getting crossed by a train. Help. That's better. Yep, I think we are inside that post, aren't we? Yep. We were inside a pole. Well done, game.
Looks like it. Yeah, you are.
Will it move? Yes. Here's me hoping for a nice panoramic shot, but no, we got dragged back inside the bridge. Apparently we're supposed to stop here. Strood. Passengers for Strood, before you get out, your driver would like to apologise for almost missing your station. Hello, Cayman. It is a very nice livery, you're right. And it's in honour of all of the Dovetail people who live and hopefully survive both in that country and in the one that's being the aggressor, because they have people in both. As I'm sure many European companies do. Train might hit me there. That'll be better. Reminds me a little bit of the life of Brian. If he calls me Big Nose again, I'll thump him. You know that's going in a future video, don't you? Whenever the HUD comes off, it's a pretty good bet that I'm making video content. But later. When will I do Peninsula Corridor, Mr. Chicago? That's an interesting question. Perhaps when it gets its preservation crew updates, I might do PC. I think it would be cool to see it with the newest type of level crossings. The ones that came out on Sandpatch Grade a short time ago. Because I really like the crossings that wake up when the train is realistically close to them, and they turn off again when the train is realistically past them. I think that adds heaps to the game. And it is a shame about world events. You're absolutely correct, Coman. I know people in both countries. I have family in both countries. And the particularly sad thing about having family in both countries is they're both related from the same branch, and they hate each other. The enmity between the two countries is enormous. It's just strange. We have a brief respite from a tunnel, followed closely by, guess what? A tunnel. And as they say, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. You just have to hope it's not a train. Yeah, Kerman, the rail driver's quite good. I actually find that I also use this thing quite often. For trains like those on LIR and the 612 and the G6 German shunter, I actually find the controllers better than the rail driver for them, because otherwise you're just doing sad things with your throttle all the time. And NJT asks, when will the FP40PH-2 CAT come back to Scenario Planner? I didn't know it had gone. Is it really not available in there anymore? If it's not, my guess would be that's a mistake. Not meant to happen. I wasn't paying attention to speed signs, so I don't know how fast to go. I'm just going to go fast. I think I've even got Peninsula Corridor loaded at the moment. You all right there, Michael, or did your cat just attack you?
No, it's just the typing skills.
We all have those. .1 miles to Gravesend. And the power lines that mysteriously start. Do I get the slight impression, Chicago, that you like FP40s and the similar versions? Just a little bit? I think diversification of rolling stock with a higher range of equipment is good. It is... That canal just went uphill. Okay. Slight physics problem. But anyway. There is... I have the impression anyway that there's more diverse rolling stock for English and German routes than there is for American ones. I did have some grand plans today to load up what looked like a very nice scenario, which forced me to actually have every single piece of German DLC loaded. But unfortunately, it did not work. Yeah, the BNSF thing might influence some more equipment, never know. I think someone's looking for the Aurora racetrack in JT. Why am I slowing down so early? Chicago wants F-59s. They're those strange angular ones, aren't they? Looked like they were designed in the era of the stealth bomber, when they thought that strange angles would make it less visible on radar. Turned out to be not true, but that's okay. Look at this, I'm actually doing the speed limit. Wow. Is Rochelle your hometown there, Chicago? Or do you just like Rochelle? Hello, people of Gravesend. You must have a good cemetery. We have a Gravesend Road in Melbourne. It's literally at the end of a cemetery. Someone's sense of humour. God, a little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. There we go. There's your serious stop for the stream. And you want some Milwaukee Road as well. I'm sure you will send me some pictures, Chicago. You send a lot. Glad it's not my storage. Yeah, that's the plan, NJT. I think that's not that far away from memory. Yeah, we're getting into the main route there soon. Here's another one. Let's see if we can make this shot work this time. Oops. Of course, I'm going to faceplant into a concrete wall in a moment. It's going to hurt. Ow. Busy old day on the Great Western today. There's quite a bit of American stuff on the books for this year. Should be past that sign by now. This run will stop at Ebbsfleet. And then we will swap over to the 313, staying in England. And I'd go and hassle the maker of that particular scenario on Discord and tell him to come into the stream, but I happen to know he's actually streaming himself right now, so that's not very likely. You'd like a Canadian route, Mr. Michael. Nice scenic one through the Rockies would be good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now coming into Ebbsfleet International, the station where you can't go anywhere that is international. Sorry. You can go down to the other level if you want to, but that's about it. This train will be terminating here. If you're expecting to go into London today, well, so much for that. Well, we have got one potash train, Chicago. It's Cane Creek. And you can run that anywhere you want. Change power mode! Well, we're not continuing the journey, so it's okay. So instead, let's just get out. Oh, reward! Use the cab door! As if I never have. Let's get a poster that we've never had before. What else can we do around here? People are always in the way. People everywhere. Is there nothing else to collect on this platform? Doesn't look like it. Okay, alright then, we are now going off to Southeastern High Speed. Let me out.
Right there, you just passed it.
You're forgetting you're 20 seconds behind me. Switch route, and we want to go to... Where are we going? SEHS. That's where we were. Ah, that's funny. No, we want to go East Coast way. I'm clever. There it is. And if you're busy looking in the menu, you won't see anything because I took them out. And we want to go into tools. Did I come too far? I did come too far. I want to go into tools, scenario planner, and football madness. So we're going to be driving a 313-2 6-car loaded from Lewes platform 4 to Brighton platform 8, making one passenger stop. And this is won by British Ace. So let's get set up. Oh yeah, the reverse master key's over here, isn't it? Open the doors. Let's just jump up and turn some stuff on. Where is it in this one? Ah, that's what I want. And there's something else I want to turn on too, isn't there? I need to turn on the lights. But I thought there was another switch. Oh well. Let's just stop it making horrible noises. Got the right headlights this time? Whee! No! Headlights, 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 headlights. Somewhere around here there'll be headlights. Ah, there they are. I have to have headlights and marker lights, do I? Okay, we'll do that. And I think it's time to get out of here. You want me to turn on DSD as well? Doesn't this train die when you turn on DSD? Kind of sure it does, but we'll give it a crack. Alright, let's go to Farmer. And away we go. Just because you can. Do that again. Which reminds me of being on a tram. Oh, I forgot to set the weather. Scenario planner scenarios, if you didn't know, follow the weather of the last service that you ran. I was supposed to set for May and clear for this one. Indeed, NJT. The football special. And it's football in the European sense, with the round ball. That many places would refer to as soccer. But the bulk of the world refers to it as football. Americans and Aussies think of something completely different when we think of football, but they're two different games again. I think it displays automatic in this one. I was just looking to see if I could set a destination, but I don't think I can. Fortuitous bridge shot. This delightfully foggy English day. Hey, look at that. I told you he was streaming. And yeah, I know, we're speeding. So I was going to flip out of the game and tell British Ace that I'm running his thing, but on Discord, but I probably shouldn't. Because it might pop up in his stream. But then again, he just popped up in mine. Oh yeah. Where's the cursor showing up? Better fix that. Right, there we go. No more cursor for you. Nah, gone. Good. I had changed my capture properties to pick up the cursor because I was building a tutorial and it helps to actually be able to see where the cursor's going. We have a yellow. And another sunflower. Different kind. Why do I get the impression he's planted traffic right in front of me? Yeah, something missing from Creators Club that Steam Workshop has. The ability to comment and rate stuff. I'd like to be able to do that. I don't like getting forced into it the way Steam Workshop does.
I believe Matt mentioned something about that and that they're working towards that.
I know the website's up now. You can actually jump onto the website outside of the game and have a look at stuff. You still can't subscribe there yet, though. That would be nice if that would come. That would be red. Will it stop? Will it stop? Tension, stress. You can do it. You know, that's about as close as you want to come to a spade, really. And since we're sitting
I've
here...
got faith. I have faith. It'll stop.
It did stop. And since I'm sitting here stopped at a red signal, you know who I'm hassling, don't you? Should probably put that on too, shouldn't I? Just so I don't forget. Why are we sitting in a red? Let's have a look. Ah, there's a train in the platform. Just sitting there. There's two of them side by side. We want to go there, but we can't because that's there. We'll see if they move. One thing I did notice the game's done lately, which is a bit annoying for streamers, is when you've got the map up, you can get your cursor off the screen and into another application, but when you're actually in gameplay, you can't anymore. So how long should we wait for them to move? Because nothing going on right now. Wrong way. Let's go and give him a nudge. Yeah, they're loading. Doesn't say when they're going out. Got a driver? Oi, you. You're holding me up. Ooh, you're leaving. Nice. Good stuff. Bye. DRA light's not on anymore. Naughty DRA light. And guess who's paying just as much attention to his stream as I was, because he just replied and said, wait. Getting tunnel vision. So next week I'll be doing a thing on creating an effective scenario. And what makes scenarios effective, there's two things. Gameplay and traffic. You need to see lots of other traffic. And setting up situations where you end up creating signaling sort of systems and a need for reds to happen is good. See if we can do it again. Oh, it went green. I'm sad, because we're going to go through it. Oh, maybe we're not. Maybe we are. We'll just open the doors. Brakes on this thing are horrible. Like all good chefs, it's good to blame your tools. Yes, we can see your comments, NJTE. Michael is 20 seconds behind because the stream is 20 seconds ahead. That's just how streaming works. I can choose between 4 seconds and have slow mode on comments, or I can have 20 seconds. And it also, your rate governs how far behind you can be too, because YouTube has to process the video. And because I stream at 2K, it does highly recommend that I stay on the 20 second as a minimum. All right, off we go to Brighton. Bit of automatic sanding action there. because someone's driver is heavy on the throttle. Keep forgetting that's not a brake on this one. Can't just jam the throttle down the other end. Which is actually what happened before. It's pushing the throttle away from me and it's going, that's not slowing down. Oh yeah, I need the other one. Imagine going to watch a football match and it's this foggy. You wouldn't see much. Lots of my family are heavily invested in football/soccer. Yeah, it's not a combined handle in this one. Oh, my brakes on. Ah, yes. Our friend. Let's just go and turn off DSD. Because it breaks the train. Come on. Let's go. I knew there was a reason I didn't turn it on. Oh, it's easy to adapt. You just have to remember that you have to. There's a lot of traffic in this scenario. I like it. So what line should I make a scenario for the next week? To be effective, it should be some kind of commuter line. It's very hard to generate enough traffic to actually make a freight one challenging. Something with a lot of stations. Sorry, people. Not for you. Bye. Bakerloo. The only challenge with Bakerloo is you can't see the other traffic. Because you're in a tunnel. There's a Cathcart. Peninsula. Cathcart would work quite well, I think. I've got some speedrun scenarios on Cathcart that are up on Creators Club. They're more popular than I thought they'd be. People seem to enjoy going quick. The Gronk one hasn't had a lot of love. But I actually think the Gronk one is the hardest speedrun scenario I've got, because the Gronk turns itself off if you go too fast. So you have to balance going quickly with being sensible. And as you all know, I struggle with being sensible. Being sensible now. It's because I don't want to spad. Not for you! Go away! No train for you! Suffer! That was mature, wasn't it? Thought I'd come back in case this was red. Pizza is pizza, you reckon? Ooh. Controversial. You would get an Italian very excited saying that, NJTE. Those of you who suffer through my Instagram get to see our weekly pizza making. About the only things I put on Instagram these days is pizza and trains. I've even been known to live stream pizza making on my other channel. That got a surprising number of viewers. But then again, a friend of mine's daughter, who is on TikTok, got 56,000 people watching her eating a pizza the other night. It's just weird. Ah, the other controversial thing. Pineapple on pizza. It's going to go bonk. No, it's not. It's going to just stop. Woohoo! How close did we get? Oh, we have plenty of room. Look at that. Tons and tons and tons of room. Perfect. I'm not sure if this is the end of this scenario. Yep. So, nice one, British Ace. This meets what I think is an effective scenario. It's got traffic to look at. It's got traffic that's giving you gameplay. And it's fun. And a little bit stressful. And that's okay. Good gameplay is stressful. So if YouTube supported polls, I'd start a poll for who does pineapple on their pizza. All right. Well done, BA. Or should I say Joe? Because that's his real name. Now we're going to go on to Northeast Corridor. And we are going to drive probably the best by Fisky. And we're driving an ACS 64 plus coaches from Boston South Station Track 3 to Providence Track 3, making 2 passenger stops. And the scenario is off the rails. And one of the reasons that attracted me to this is because it's got freight traffic, which is not something you see on this route. Yeah, I'd go with that, NJTE. It looks like Pineapple's getting the nod here. Let's get him set up. Oops, someone unlocked the other doors. Not the left doors. Everybody's going to fall out. And now we have to turn on ACES, turn on ATC, and turn on the alerter and hope I don't regret it. And go for a meaningless wander down here, because you don't need to do anything down here. That all looks happy. It's just a meaningless wander to use up time. There you go. And what about some headlights? Headlights, headlights, headlights. Front headlight, there it is. Add some ditch lights. Bell works. Test the horn. Horn works. And we're more or less ready to rock. I don't think I've ever taken a train out of this platform before. Oh, look, there's our first Clinchfield loco sitting over there. Good to see. What's the Clinchfield attached to? Gondolas. You're going to laugh at one of my videos when you see it. As I was arguing with myself about whether it's a gondola or a hopper. We don't call them either. So who's tried an Aussie pizza? Welcome back, Chicago. Yes, a bit of NEC action, combined with some Clinchfield freight along the way. Could always put some freight on Cathcart, you know. Could do that. It could be fun. An Aussie pizza is ham, cheese, tomato base, mushroom, and an egg cracked over the top. We are playing a scenario by someone called Fisky, and it's described as probably the best scenario in Creators Club. So we're checking it out. And at the end of it, we're going to make a call, whether it's the best scenario in Creators Club or not. And I have to behave because I've turned on all the safety systems. Yes, NJTE, egg. Most of the time in the pizzas I make, I don't actually use a tomato base. I use a olive oil layer where most people would put tomato, because I'm just not a fan of cooked tomato. Slow this down a little bit before ATC attacks me. Generally speaking, on a pizza I will have mozzarella cheese, I will have bocconcini often, I have Kalamata olives, I have hot chili, mushrooms. So you think there's a red signal bug at Rockwood? CSXQ137. So that's on Sandpatch, I guess. Make sure you report it in the technical forum, Chicago, and give them a link to a video if you have the capability of making and uploading. Ham and bacon. My kids like putting bacon on their pizzas. I generally don't do it, but I have nothing against bacon whatsoever. I just don't usually put it on my pizza. They usually put sausage on their pizza too, and I don't. I find it makes it a bit oily. Yes, I've had Chicago deep dish pizza. Ironically, I had Chicago deep dish pizza in Berkeley in California. Never had it in Chicago. Alright, back of our train should be clear of that station now. Ah, Neil TV8, okay. He's a nice guy. New York pizza. Gibraldi's in Brooklyn does a very nice, proper, massive New York pizza. It's about the size of a table. My wife and I munched our way through one of those on our last New York trip back in 2019 when it was possible to go to other countries. And we also went to a place called Spumoni Gardens, taken by a very good friend of ours named Tracy. Which is another kind of traditional New York pizza where it's all squares. Of all the places to end up. I was thinking this game or scenario must have some traffic in front of me, but it doesn't. It's Axis that slowed me down for the corner. You didn't get the dovetail one. We're not doing 125 mile an hour because Axis wants me to do 80. Chicago? And I have all the safety systems turned on, so if I go over 80, it'll stop me. It's mean like that. 60 it is. Must be changing tracks. $45 ATC. That's very correct in JTE. You've got to slow down quickly enough. So when you're slowing down quickly, as long as the suppression light comes on, then you're fine. Back of my train should be through those points by now. Can't go to 120 yet though. I can only go to 60 until the back of my train passes where it went to 120. But I don't know if we'll go up to 120 anyway, because we're not that far from the station. Let's take it up to 100. Or 125 even. Well, the only other freight I've seen so far, well, the only freight I've seen was sitting in the station. I haven't seen anything move yet. Have we seen any other trains go past in the other direction? So it's going to have to do something pretty cool pretty soon if it wants to be the greatest scenario.
Not that I recall.
This thing does not slow down in a hurry. Stop with the engine just past, which is fine. Because the engine doesn't need to be in the platform. Whoop, but that carriage does. Oh well. Bit of a long drop there, folks, sorry. No one wants to get on. Or off. There are people in the train. I have noticed when you make scenarios, sometimes no one gets in. It's looking like we're running a bit of an empty train. Whoop, whoop, was that a person? One guy. Eh. Two. Yep, two. 3, 4. Yep, we're running a train for 4 people. Woohoo! Off to South Attleborough. Full power. I had an American train engineer by the name of Sean contact me about my tutorial on ATCS and Axis, and he said, "You're nearly right." So he's going to help me on the next one. Because I'll be doing another one soon for a slightly different version of it. Which is quite cool. He said that all of the concepts I had were correct. It's just a couple of nuances in some situations where you might need to do something a little bit different. I keep meaning to look up the history of those bridge piles to see if there's a bridge missing from the game or if it's really not there in reality. Whoosh. You wouldn't want to be standing on the wrong side of the yellow line when something comes through at 120 mile an hour. Because while it's not exactly up there with super train speeds, it is fast. Too much torque, not enough liquid. Good angle. That's better. We're eating up the miles quite quickly here. Still not seeing any other traffic. Just sitting in station. Oh, there's a train. There you go. I've seen one other train now.
Not afraid.
No, no freight. Well, we've only seen a freight sitting in a platform. There you go, Chicago, just for you. Took it up to 125 very briefly, but I'm not staying there because Access will shut me down, or ATC will, one or the other. Look out the window, I could see a bunch of people getting out of a car, but they're not coming in here. It's going to take quite some braking to get down to 80. Get some air brake or it's not going to go into suppression. overspeed. No. Got away with it. Yeah, it's fun with the ACS 64 so far, but I'd love to see some more trains in the scenario. Curious why the dispatcher put us onto that track given we weren't stopping in the station. Here comes an MTBA. There we go, I'm across those points, back up to full power. I keep thinking about building a scenario for a Rosalini. I want to see if it's possible. I'm not going to do this for next week, but I want to see if it's possible to generate a situation where you cross a train at every station. Or will it be too complex and it just gets stuck? I'm really not sure what the answer to that is. If you've noticed, I'm not using the alerter buttons on the rail driver. Meet box. Box is a 7-button keyboard that I have made. It's got a little microcontroller in it that, as far as the PC is concerned, is pretending to be a keyboard. Boxy, you reckon? I still like the way the doors and stairs unfold. So how well did we do with the stop? Should we look? Well, not bad. Maybe just a tad early. Next stop, Providence. In Boston. Yellow. It's Axis slowing us down for the corner. Stuck in a tree. Cactus Juice has been working on the signalling and access for this route, but unknown if it will get into an update or not. We're gonna spad. We didn't. Why didn't that spad? That signal was for us. That's just weird. Okay. We have driven past a red signal. We're gonna keep going. Yeah, yours isn't far away, mate. You're up next. Going down the hole with Mole Man, the train driver. So what am I going to expect in your scenario in JTE? So cruising through here at 30 mile an hour is not actually right.
Boring?
No spoilers from NJT. Did you say it was going to be boring, Michael? Or did you mean coming through here at 30 is boring? So just seeing the billboard up there, which is one of the old ones. What are people's thoughts on introducing real ads into the game?
I meant going through there at 30 is boring.
Ah. Yes, it is a little bit boring doing it at 30. It's actually interesting because in our little railway, we don't get over 25 mile an hour ever. Don't even go over 20.
I think it's about bloody time.
You know, I don't mind the concept of having real ads. Let just help a local feel familiar, I guess. I'll be curious to what they show, though. So, as an Aussie, I wouldn't really want to see an Australian product advertised in Bakerloo, for example. I'd want to see Bakerloo correct ads. We have a yellow. We're allowed up to 70 after the back of our train gets through there. But I'm pretty sure we get dragged back down to 30 pretty quickly anyway. I don't think we get to stay at 70 for very long, so I'm not going to be overly enthusiastic about speeding up. I'm not actually going to go over 45. And I have new journeys turned on as instructed in JTE. Do I need the 38 stock as well? I haven't got that turned on at the moment. Hopefully not, because that always takes a little while, because even though I have it locally, it always downloads it. No need for the 38, good. I was sad when the German one wanted to try didn't turn up, because I had to install just about... In fact, I think I had to install everything German. So I was expecting this really busy scenario, but it wouldn't actually load. And there's no way to report a scenario that doesn't work either. It's some feedback I've sent off to JD. Because one of the report options should be didn't work. Well, now we see another freight. It's not going anywhere. But there it is. quiet, you. And there we have it. We have arrived at Providence. Just cruise our way in, and then we'll jump into Bakerloo. And that's it. In reality, this train would keep going. Not with us. Let's see how we did. How did we end up down there? There we go. That'll do for the ending scenario. And unsurprisingly, since we had ATCS and access turned on, no speeding anywhere. Cool bananas. You can't half tell that I drive this thing a bit, can you? Alright, off we go to Bakerloo for NJTE's scenario. Somewhere around here. There he is. London Underground, Bakerloo. Any particular weather you want, NJTE? Actually, it's underground. Forget I asked. Alright, we're going to be driving the LU-72 stock Mark II 7 car, loaded with people, from Queen's Park Platform 3 to Harrow and Wealdstone Centre siding, making 2 passenger stops along the way. And I remember from the description that in the Creators Club that we are running late. Let me just get the rail driver set back up. We are running late, so we're going to be skipping stops. Alright, let's wake stuff up. Better turn that on, do that. Probably need some lights turned on. Gauge lights. Should turn on the train. And put in the Livery. I don't want to go to forward, probably want to go to int. And this I want to have EP normal, and then I can reset that. There's an EP max and reset that. No. Release and reset that. Ah, there we go. Alright, now I do actually want some brakes though, because I don't want to roll away just yet. This is 2 camera being strange. Not in service. Oh. We're going to the other end. That's where we're going. And what about headlights and marker lights? Where are they? Headlights are on. That's okay. What about the other end? Oh, we're not in service down there. Can't have that. We have to go for a walk. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Coming through. Coming through. In a hurry. Get out of the way. Careful not to bang your head. Right, there we go. Whee! Back up the other end. Going through. Why don't you people get on? It's not as though trains on this platform go anywhere else. Get on the train. Come on, you. Get on. Don't just stand there looking sad. Alright, I'll leave you alone. Door. Hello. Alright. Lock doors. I've obviously not done something. I think I turned everything on. Control keys in. I know what I haven't done. I haven't set it up so I can open my window. Go do that. But what haven't I done that lets the train move? Ah, nothing. It just didn't want to move before. Fine then. Just looking at all of NGTE's helpful hints that I haven't even looked at. I'm always late, mate. I'm supposed to be late in this scenario. It's the whole premise. Should we do a little of what train drivers call spirited running? There you go, we'll catch up. Do some spirited running. Ignore the 10 mile an hour limit. It's 45 now anyway. Let's pile it on. Do you think the brakes aren't released? Seem to be moving okay. Good-o. Is that a red signal for me? Kind of looks like it. Ah, no, it's on the other line. Ah, it's fine then. Party on, dude. Indeed, yes. All 30 around here. I thought you weren't going to give me any spoilers. Open doors. Another train. Good to see another train sitting in a community scenario. And of course the two fragrances, pink and blue. In JTE, do you know if you can pick that center dock platform in a scenario? And away we go. Big crane beeping away up there. Yeah, another one. Good to see. Nice level of traffic in JTE. Commendations to you. It's going to be a quick one. Only 5 miles to go. I'd love to put some traffic on that other track over there. That would be cool. Sorry about being late, mate. No train for you, losers. Haha. Yay! That looked like traffic, NJTE. Thank you. Come again. I missed it. What was the Easter egg? Or was it the Ralph fan? Find the yellow line, you. I'd go faster, but it really hasn't got any more in it. It's as good as you get. Almost made 50 mile an hour, but I don't think we're going to. Well, we might actually make 50. Ah, the special livery, fair enough. The aluminium. I don't think I've ever been on this track before. Cool. We have made 50. How's that? 50. Do you reckon they heard that? Probably not. 51. I'm going to have to stop. This thing doesn't break that well. Harrow and Wealdstone coming up. I think it's pretty good, NJTE. You've got a nice level of traffic, so you get to see other trains, which is what you want. You could make a version of this with to make it harder, so you could have this one as the standard version and a harder version, where you put traffic in front of it, so you're running late, but there's someone in front of you that's stopping all stations. But I think this is cool. It's been fun. You've avoided the boring part of Bakerloo, which is going down the hole. So well done there. And I better slow down so I don't spad, because, you know, finishing the stream on a spad, while it's always funny, it's not the last memory you really want to leave. Alright, and that brings us to the end of the run. Let's see how we did. Oh, that's right. We're not quite done yet, are we? We have to go and park it. Good deal. No, it's not red. I've got a shunting signal. It's the two little white dots below the red. Won't chat afterwards today, Michael. I'm in desperate need of a nature break. Yeah, the limit's 10 NJTE.
No worries.
But coming into a dead-end siding, let's go just a tad slower. Because, you know, bonking the end's just not worth the paperwork. Because you might think no one saw it. Someone always does. And there we go. We are done. All right, folks, thank you very much for watching this week. I hope it was entertaining and we got to showcase some of the things that are in the Creators Club. We'll just have a very quick look at the liveries that are in there because I promised we would do that. Because there is so much now. I'm just going to look at recent things. You can see the featured ones where they've picked some interesting ones out of the community. And that's, I believe JD and Nat picked these ones, so they picked the ones that they like the most. And they're changing those, I think, just about every day during the week. And then there's the most popular ones that people have downloaded. And the German stuff's obviously very popular. But the cool thing is, this is what I was talking about before, I really appreciate that they've put in a most recent thing, because that gives new people who are putting in some content a chance to get exposed, which is really good. So just have a quick flick through these. There's quite a lot of interesting stuff coming in. And as Michael asked me earlier, yes, some of them do disappear because people put in things they're not meant to. These ones have gotten around it by calling it Conrail instead of Conrail. So, yeah, they'll probably get away with that, although that does look remarkably close to the logo, so they may not. We'll see. Nice to see some of the Heritage Amtrak liveries. That's cool. And there's a big mixture of scenarios and the Glasgow subway. Well, that's colourful. Big mixture of scenarios and liveries. So, yeah, some people are doing some amazing stuff. Good on them. So it's well worth having a troll through to Creators Club, and I really encourage you to have a look if you haven't, because there's some really good stuff here. That'll disappear, as it's spelt right. Oh well. People will learn, won't they? The DT and I. That looks like a bit of a made-up one. Do not ride. What does that actually say? I've got to have a look. We got a side-on one? We do. It really says do not ride. You know, I'm almost going to have to actually chuck that into the game just to see what that side says. Oh, well. NJTE wants me to check out his, what is it, a class 375. Okay, we can do that because we can cheat. I can go to my subscriptions because this is a little bit hard to find people still, I find. And if we go to this one and then we go to NJTE. Is that the one? That's a 377. That's not the one. It's colourful though. And there's that one and the 375. Here we go. Yeah, cool. It's very colourful. All right then. I think that's probably where we will leave it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I lost a couple of people in the last couple of minutes then, but that's okay. Anyway, have fun, and I will see you on next week at some point. What are we doing next week? We are doing creating an effective scenario with Creators Club, and a few of you put in suggestions for which routes, so I'll have a look at those and see just how many different options I've got for stations. It needs to be a relatively long one to work well, so Peninsula Corridor could work. I know Bakerloo was suggested, but there's not much to the overground and you can't see any traffic underground. And Cathcart was suggested as well, and I'm contemplating a Rosa too, so we shall see. We shall see. And I will do some pre-planning, and I will actually make the scenario beforehand, but then I'll make it again when we come onto the stream. I just want to make sure it all works. All right, folks, thank you very much for joining in, and I hope you've had a really good time, and see you next week. Bye now. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I always like to get your feedback in the form of likes and comments because they help me understand what you want. Give the channel a subscribe and click on the tinkly things so you don't miss out on any new stuff. And thanks for your ongoing support. And please, be safe out there.